come to the front of your mat. Find mountain pose, Tadasana. As you're ready, bring all of your weight into your right leg and then step your left leg back into a lunge, whatever length you want your lunge to be. Find your footing and decide if you want to keep your back heel up or would you like to spin it down. And you might try both. So if you start with your back heel up, maybe try spinning it down and notice how does that change things. Check in with your footing. And if you'd like to scooch your right foot out towards the right side of your mat, maybe your left foot out towards the left side of your mat for a wider stance, sometimes that can feel more stable. And then decide what you'd like to do with your arms. Maybe you bring your arms up into cactus arms. Maybe you stretch them up straight. So you're in Warrior One or Virabhadrasana One. And then bring your arms down and using your arms for balance, kind of bring some buoyancy into your knees and see if you can kind of turn yourself so that your hips are a little more open to the side. Your chest is a little more open to the side. Maybe you extend your arms out to the side and bend through your front knee, your right knee. So now you're in Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2. And you might check in with your neck. Does it work to turn your head and look over your right fingertips? Maybe, maybe not. Sometimes it does for me, sometimes it doesn't. And you can stay here in Warrior Two, or you might try bringing your right arm down to rest it on your knee and either extending your left arm up towards the ceiling or keeping it hand on hip or extending that arm up alongside your ear. And you're in side angle. Parshva Konasana. Uttahita Parshva Konasana. If you're in side angle, lift yourself back up into your Warrior Two. And then find some buoyancy in your legs. Turn yourself so that you're in your wide-legged stance, facing the long edge of your mat. And just notice what this feels like. So bring some engagement into your lower body. Maybe turn your heels in a little bit so your toes are pointing out at kind of an angle. See if you can lift your body up straight, engage through your core. You might tuck your tail a little bit and start bending and straightening your knees a little bit, just kind of feeling like, can I stay upright? And what does this feel like in my body? So you're moving into goddess pose. And goddess pose is very stretchy and very strong. I think I would describe it as. So you might find a way to, you can continue moving around here, or you might find a way to settle into a bent knee position if it works for you. Maybe you bring your arms into cactus arms for a traditional goddess. You might decide to find movement here for a less traditional goddess. So decide what feels right in your body today. Sometimes movement feels like a way into presence for me. So if you're like me, sometimes movement is the way to go, sometimes stillness. Whatever allows you to really be present and notice what is best for your body, what really works for you. And then as you're ready, you can straighten through all your limbs, maybe lower your arms and maybe toe heel your feet in. Step your feet in. And then come to the front of your mat again. And we'll do that on the other side. So pause in Tadasana or mountain pose and just breathe. Notice how that made you feel. And when you're ready, bring all your weight into your left leg and step your right leg back into your lunge. And once you're in your lunge, find your footing. If you're starting on your toes, maybe you spin that heel down and find your warrior one. Maybe you bring your arms into cactus arms. Maybe you stretch them up. And then when you're ready to transition into warrior two, find some buoyancy and softness in your legs, in your hips, and start opening to the side, opening through your chest, through your hips as much as they like. Maybe bringing your arms out to this big wide T, bending through your left knee and straightening through your right. You might try looking over your left fingertips. And you're always looking for a balance between ease and effort in all of these movements. So it's always okay to like back off. Maybe you need to drop your arms. Maybe you need to straighten your leg. Whatever you need to do to really make sure that you have a balance between I'm working and I can breathe pretty freely here. So another option, if you want to try side angle, you might bring your forearm down to your bent knee, whatever you want to do with that arm, that upper arm. And when you're ready, come back into your warrior two, straighten through your left knee, turn your toes to face the long edge of your mat. So you're in this kind of star position. If you bring your arms out to the side, you could rest your hands on your hips. And then maybe you move back into goddess. So if so, you turn your heels in. You might also opt for a forward bend here. So you'd keep your toes facing forward for that. And hinging from your hips, you would come forward to whatever degree you want. You might pause halfway down. You might bring your fingertips to the ground or to blocks. So whichever is going to feel better for you today, goddess or a forward fold. If you're trying a forward fold, you could pause halfway down, or you might allow your body to fold all the way forward. Just by relaxing all the way from where you crease at your hips down, allowing your spine to release towards the floor. And if you're folded forward, take your time coming up. If you're in goddess, take your time straightening your limbs. And then bring your feet in, maybe toe heel them in, maybe hop in, maybe step in. and make your way down onto your mat. So however you would like to take Shavasana, so if you want to lie down on your back, just kind of allow your limbs to hang out to the sides, you could do that for a more traditional Shavasana. You could also opt to lie in constructive rest pose or find any comfortable way to rest. It might be that you find a comfy chair to sit in, whatever feels right. And if you would like to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. And just take the next few minutes to rest. If your mind is busy, which that's what minds do, they stay busy, you might notice when you're following your thoughts. And if you do notice, you might let those thoughts go.